Americans in this country who feel disappointed and discouraged or even a little bit angry about the court's decision today on student debt. And I must admit I do too.
A big loss today for students and President Biden. The Supreme Court striking down his plan to cancel thousands of dollars of student debt.
It came in a 6-3 decision, the court ruling Biden's effort to erase about $400 billion of student debt was an illegal use of his executive power. That case looked at whether or not the debt relief program actually complies with federal law, specifically the HEROES Act.
That HEROES Act was created after 9/11, giving the Secretary of Education the power to respond to a national emergency by waiving or modifying any statutory or regulatory provision governing student loan programs. The goal is to protect borrowers so they're not hurt financially due to emergencies. In this case, it was the COVID pandemic.
In the majority opinion by Chief Justice John Roberts, he argues that the word modify used within the HEROES Act means that the Biden administration can make, quote, modest adjustments and additions to existing provisions. He goes on to say that President Biden instead created a novel and fundamentally different loan forgiveness program.
But in the dissent by Justice Elena Kagan, she argues the exact opposite, writing that the HEROES Act, quote, provides the secretary with broad authority to give emergency relief to student loan borrowers, including by altering usual discharge rules. She goes on to criticize her conservative colleagues, saying that some 40 million Americans will not receive the benefits the plan provides because, so says the court, that assistance is too significant.
And President Biden immediately taking action this afternoon, announcing a new attempt at forgiveness, utilizing the Higher Education Act. He also says they're creating a temporary 12-month on-ramp to repayment program, which means during that period, if you miss any payments, this on-ramp will temporarily remove the threat of default or having your credit harmed.
This new path is legally sound. It's going to take longer, but in my view, it's the best path that remains to providing for as many borrowers as possible with debt relief.
Yeah, and this decision today coming on the heels of yesterday's landmark decision ending affirmative action within higher education. So with all of this said, big question is what comes next for students?
Our Yasmin Ludi spent the day figuring that out.
What little hope people had of being debt-free is gone. One student tells me she's already struggling as is. And between work, school, and no forgiveness, life after graduation is going to be hard.
It was a hard decision for me to even want to go back and get my master's degree just because of how expensive it really truly is.
Sitting in Bronson Park, working on a few things for grad school, Taylor Taravis couldn't believe the Supreme Court decision.
School is really expensive and I want to better myself and I want to get educated. But I respect all those people that don't want to go back to school because it's so expensive and we're not getting that assistance that we could be getting.
Taravis says since she didn't qualify for assistance from the Kalamazoo Promise, she's already stacked up loans from her bachelor's degree.
Those are going to follow me for the rest of my life. And, you know, even when I start having kids and get married, those are always going to be with me. And that's something I don't want to have to worry about. So it is very discouraging and it is very unfortunate.
However, this discouraging decision wasn't unexpected.
They did wait until the last day of the term and to issue the last day that they released decisions to put this at the end. So they did know it was controversial. And obviously it has a potentially large policy impact.
Matt Grossman, a political scientist at Michigan State University, says the people who will be impacted the most by this are young people like Taravis.
In reality, it was mostly just a benefit for people at the beginning of their careers. And so that was the main fact. And so we're talking about a lot of young people who will now owe a lot more debt.
Although the Supreme Court struck down debt forgiveness today, that doesn't mean there's no chance for it in the future.
The Supreme Court just said that the Biden administration could not do this on their own. Everyone agreed that if Congress were to pass a new law forgiving this debt, then it could go into effect.
Grossman says there are other student loan forgiveness options, so it's best to check the federal student aid website or with your loan provider to see what options you qualify for. Reporting in Kalamazoo, Yasmin Ludi, Fox 17 News.